Fans are bringing up an interesting conversation with Roman Reigns, so we'll dive into that. We'll also check out what's up with Austin Theory, extra call-ups, and more. Starting things off with a recent topic of conversation that some fans have been going over, and that's the conversation surrounding Roman Reigns and the Ula Fala. The Ula Fala appeared in WWE right after the Hell in a Cell match between Roman and Jay back in 2020. It was a brutal battle between two family members who were battling it out not only for the Universal Championship, but also for family pride and the top spot in their personal family rankings. So when Roman won the battle, that's when the Wild Samoans came out and placed the Ula Fala over Roman's head. That action made it official that Roman got the blessing and acknowledgement from his family of being their tribal chief. The Ula Fala never really left Roman's side after that night. He carried it with him for 4 years, and it wasn't until mid-2024 where the Ula Fala was really moved to the forefront and given even more spotlight and attention. During Roman's hiatus, Solo Sikoa snatched the Ula Fala and placed it over his head, calling himself the new tribal chief. The problem here was that Solo did not do it in the honorable way. He did not beat Roman for the Ula Fala in a match, so the way Solo went about it was frowned upon and wasn't really right. And this led to Roman eventually making a return and trying to get back the Ula Fala that was stolen from him. This was an intense story, and because of the importance of the Ula Fala and the significance of it, it basically felt like a championship that Roman and Solo were battling for. Made it feel like there was something on the line and gave it a high-stakes feeling. There was even reports that WWE wanted to make it an actual Tribal Chief Championship for Roman and Solo to fight over, but that was ultimately scrapped and the Ula Fala was already more than enough. It was a physical item that they were battling for, so the Ula Fala was pretty much serving as a championship. Roman ended up beating Solo for the Ula Fala, and there was a big post-match moment of The Rock placing the Ula Fala on Roman's head. With the Wild Samoan sadly no longer being with us, it was The Rock that took the position as the elder of the family to officially recrown Roman Reigns. And the conversation and debate that the fans have right now is that ever since that night away, over a year ago of January 6, 2025, nothing's been done with the Ula Fala. From 2020 until the first week of 2025, the Ula Fala was the prized possession that Roman gladly wore, and something that other family members were always quietly having an eye on. We saw Jay make several attempts at getting the Ula Fala, even most recently at SummerSlam 2023, where the Ula Fala was on the line in that match. And then, we saw the whole tease there of The Rock being interested in the Ula Fala before that direction was eventually dropped. And of course, the biggest story of the Ula Fala that's ever seen was Roman versus Solo. So the Ula Fala was constantly featured. It took him the entire second half of 2024 to win it back, but after all that time and all those storylines, the story around the Ula Fala seems a little bit empty at the moment. And that's what fans are diving into right now. They want to know why the Ula Fala isn't getting more spotlight and attention from a story point of view. Like if it's this very important item that's in the family, how come we're not seeing family members occasionally challenge Roman for the Ula Fala? Does not have to be a disrespectful heel versus babyface situation, but even if someone like Jacob Fatu, for example, respectfully challenges Roman Reigns for the Ula Fala, just anything like that, to show that the Bloodline family members do still care about this item, they have to show interest in it. And through those matches, the Ula Fala will gain more meaning and purpose. And that's a very fair conversation that the fans are having, and for the most part, they're absolutely right. The Ula Fala was the focal point of Roman's entire story for 4 full years, a true crucial point of his storytelling. But now in current day, it kind of feels like it's just an empty part of his entrance gear. He does not have to be defending the Ula Fala very often, but it would be nice for a family member to pop up every now and then to challenge Roman for the Ula Fala, and have that serve as a little reminder to the audience about how important that Ula Fala is, after all. A nice little refresher that this is something that does put a target on Roman's back from his own family members, and something that he successfully defended to rightfully keep the position. That's a great conversation that fans are having about Roman Reigns and the Ula Fala, and hopefully we see the Ula Fala return to the spotlight sometime this year. The new year has opened up some amazing call-ups to the main roster. Javon Evans is officially a Raw superstar, and Trick Williams has landed on Smackdown, but the call-ups don't appear to be stopping at all. Following his successful NXT title defense, Obafemi has left the title in the middle of the ring. WWE later confirmed that Obafemi did vacate the title and will be coming to the main roster himself, and the rumor has it that big plans are in store for Obafemi on the main roster, which is something great that you love to hear for call-ups. It's a bit concerning and scary when they call somebody up with no plan and no sense of direction, but to hear that big plans are in store for a call-up, that's always a great thing that gives you a lot of hope for their main roster success. Jordynne Grace is another superstar that's on her way to the main roster. Grace's brand has not been revealed at the time of this recording, but common sense tells us that it's going to be to Smackdown. The Smackdown women's division is still a ghost town and desperately needs as many stars as it can get. So there's no way that they put Jordynne Grace on Raw, considering the status of the Smackdown women's division right now, so she has to be going to SmackDown. Another call-up that could be on the way is Lola Vice. Lola Vice hinted at the possibility herself when she took to her Instagram story to show herself looking really excited, saying that she just got great news and wished she could share it. Lola never revealed what the great news was, but reports have been claiming that Lola Vice is set for a main roster call-up soon. So when you put it all together, it looks like Lola's Instagram story about the exciting news she received, well, that could be related to her hearing that she was coming to the main roster. Lola's brand is still a mystery, but similar to Jordynne Grace's discussion we just had, Lola Vice is desperately needed on SmackDown right now as well. Depth is needed right now in SmackDown's women's division more than ever. They had Jade Cargill feuding with B-Fab and Mia Yim over the last few months, but both B-Fab and Mia Yim went down with injuries. So Jade Cargill quite literally has no one to feud with at the immediate moment. So adding Lola Vice, Jordynne Grace, and others to SmackDown would do a lot right now to the depth of roster. Definitely a lot of cool call-ups to look forward to here in the very near future. The crypticness with Austin Theory continued this week in a very similar way to what we've been seeing as of late, and that's the use of Seth's finishing move, the curb stomp. During the January 5th edition of Raw, Austin Theory did get involved during the world title match between CM Punk and Braun Breaker. Austin's big moment of interference in that match took place when he curb stomped CM Punk. That exact move has caused CM Punk a lot of misery as of late, such as Elimination Chamber 2025 when he was curb stomped to lose that match, or after Royal Rumble 2025 when he was curb stomped on the outside of the ring. But in all those prior instances, it was Seth Rollins delivering that move to him. So here we are seeing CM Punk take his first curb stomp of 2026, but this time around, it's coming from Austin Theory, not Seth Rollins. And this gesture of Austin Theory hitting CM Punk with a curb stomp during the world title match has fans wondering if this was Austin Theory following an order from Paul Heyman and The Vision, or if Austin Theory curb stomping CM Punk was a direct order from Seth Rollins that he was listening to. We know Seth loves to screw over CM Punk in world title matches. So was that a quiet and secret hit from Seth Rollins in disguise? It's something that fans are strongly considering and something that does make sense. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.